So I wanted to share a short little video of lap work for hand plane irons. I had a video that's been a little popular a month ago, about lapping them the quick way. Um, we're going for the slow way, the perfect way, because these are for Michael Jinks and it's Just Plain Fun, the Parts Division Facebook group, supporting the upcoming Veterans Day charity auction and sale week in Can I Have It? Vintage Tool and Sales Group. I know, that's a fucking mouthful. At any rate, I'm lapping these cutting irons for hand planes that are going to be sold for a good cause. And we're going for perfectly flat. On my bench, I have 5 cutting irons. I have an Atoma 140 diamond plate, and I have these vintage carborundum brand company aluminum oxide, presumably, stones. These are the coarsest I get. And I've been working these irons from the shortest, the narrowest to the biggest. And you can see that this has some permanent pen marks because the small one was not perfectly flat. So I'm going on to the next one. You can see I've done some lap work on this plate. I did initial coarse lap work on this. And what I'm doing is using permanent pen. I've been working the whole flat, but now I'm starting to focus on half of the flat. And for the next stage, I'll focus on just the last half inch. So how flat is perfectly flat? Perfectly flat, like perfectly micron flat, might not matter on a cutting iron. But this is for the Wounded Waters charity auction. If you don't know about it, look it up. And I'm going to do this a little dry. I used some slurry on this Atoma. I prefer LA's Awesome Orange Degreaser. It smells a little better than Windex. But the problem is it will take the pen marks off. So I'm evaluating how flat is perfectly flat yet, because this is a trusted true surface. This has little imperfections, but for a coarse stone, it's great to start. So I always wipe my plates and stones off with a paper towel, never a rag, because a rag can leave little fibers that will interfere. So that's that. And you can see, that's the low spot, that's the flat spot, this is the high spot, that needs work. So I will do various things. Like right now I'm going perpendicular to the cutting edge. Working the edge. You can hear the sound, that's great. So aside from using the permanent pen, you'll notice with plain irons, particularly wider ones, that I'll go to a circular pattern, and that will change the scratch patterns clearly. And what you'll see is, sometimes you'll see different areas of action. I'll do a 45. I'll go to the end just to work my stone evenly, because diamond plate stones will wear in, etc., etc., etc. And so that's that. This one looks okay. This one, I started on the Atoma and actually went back to this coarse one because this just wasn't fast enough. Like, I'm not going to spend hours doing this, although I am, but anyone that's tried to lap a plain iron flat, like perfect flat, it can take a long time unless you know some tricks and have done it a lot and know what you're looking at. It's really crazy. So I'm still seeing this corner has a little bit of that permanent pen. And you'll see like a low spot here, low spot there. Like the swirl pattern is starting to form on the edge. It's starting to form here and here. And these are the low spots in between. And I work this thin, narrow stone, cutting iron, I mean to say. And so Listen to the sound of this. You hear the tooth. It's got a lot of tooth, but it's also very slippery smooth. There's a little bit of lubrication on here. Now let's compare it to the fastest stones that I know. These are faster than the Satoma. They're faster than an XXC Diasharp Diamond DMT plate, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. So sound. And hear the greater tooth of this. Now it's got a duller, less metallic sound because this is aluminum plate with a very thin section of the diamond. It's like a deeper growl. I'm just using a little water. I use oil and water on these stones. They're all they all help the metal polish. You know, the metal swarf from the stone from the cutting iron come up. I'm seeing nice even scratch patterns. It's kind of weird because you can chase scratch patterns to get perfectly flat for a long time, and you feel like you're chasing a tail. But you just got to be patient. You got to be diligent. And above all, you want to be consistent because you want consistent results. Look at that. All those marks are gone. So quick. Little duffing on the side right here. This corner is looking really nice. So now I'm actually going to ride the edge off of the edge of the stone a little bit to get a little more sharpening tooth on this side where it's low, where you can see that permanent pen right there. And this fast core stone, I see just a little light duff in this corner actually, and more over here. Is this pretty flat? Yeah. Is it perfectly flat? For most hand planes that I sharpen up perfectly, I don't worry about being perfectly flat. I get very close, but not perfect, so we're striving for perfection today, and it just takes time. Just takes time. And again, I'm seeing a little better polish. This corner is still a little duffed. Yep, you can see it. And this side still is low. So thing is, some cutting irons can surprise you. Like this wide, this is a Stanley number 8. It's actually pretty flat. It's got a low spot in the middle. We're getting there, etc., etc., etc.